Is Israel being smart by cutting off some food and some electricity? I leave that to others. Are they acting lawfully? Well, no other country in the world has ever provided this kind of assistance to its enemies, particularly if you provided oil, it's going to be turned into rocket fuel. We know that. We know that every humanitarian bit of aid that was given to Gaza over the years has been used against Israeli civilians, and so we're in that situation. But President Trump's pushing the envelope. He's pressing it in every possible way, and that gives rise to condemnation and to support. People, I think, if be interesting to know what would happen if there were an election today with the stock market down, with some problems with the economy, but with the most energetic president we've seen in years and years. Whether he would still win the popular vote today, I don't know the answer to that question. I think if the stock market decline continues for a long period of time and begins to have impact not only on Wall Street but on Main Street, we're going to see that. As I said the other day, it serves as a kind of check and balance outside of the standard checks and balances that we have. Reality is a check. If you do things and they hurt the average person, that's a check on your electoral fortunes and the electoral fortunes of your party. All right, now I want to turn to the topic of the day, and it involves this horrible guy named Mahmoud Khalil. He was the leader of the pro-Hamas encampment at Columbia. Whether he was personally responsible or just ideologically responsible for the blocking of access to Jewish students to classes, to occupying, Hamilton Hall and other places, to disrupting classes. And he was, the negotiator, the front man. He took his mask off, so we saw who he was. And now he's been arrested, and he's been swooped down to Louisiana. Why? Obviously, to avoid a liberal judge in New York, already one liberal judge in New York, his name was Furman or something, ruled that he couldn't be taken out of the country. He couldn't be deported, subject to judicial resolution, but he can be taken to other parts of the country and held there. And we'll see where the judicial decision takes place. Will it take place in New York, where he'd get a much more sympathetic judge, or will it take place in Louisiana, where he'd probably get a less sympathetic judge? Don't know the answer to that question. Depends a little bit on, where his lawyer wants to bring the case, whether